Hello, 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 everybody. How is everybody tonight? Can you hear me okay? Can you see the screen okay? Sweet. Man, we already got 230 people on the call. Mike's here, Martin's here, Derek's here, Sai's here, Mark's here, Ron's here, Jeff's here, Daz is here, Sif is here, Mark's here again, Christian, Bruce is here, Patrick's here. Patrick, I think you've already seen this webinar, haven't you? He said, I got to come back again, Jason. Got to get some more of it. Herbert's here. Brian's here. Newell's here. Den's here. Jill's here. James is here. Stan, Alan, John, Jennifer, Rich, Thomas, Nancy. Oh, man, this is awesome. And we are recording this. So Maddie's here again. I remember Maddie was on the small call we did the other day. We will be recording this, and there will be a replay of this. As you can see here, we have 2,989 people signed up. I'm trying to get it. I was hoping that we'd hit the 3,000 mark. 2,992 now. Yeah, I think we can get to the 3,000 mark before the call starts. That would be awesome. Kevin's here. How you doing, Kevin? And yes, I will be offering access to the replay. There will be a webinar replay. Melanie's here. Good to see you. Hey, Mark says, gotta do these things earlier, Jason. Bloody bedtime in the UK. And Mike's here. Hey, Mike, how you doing? I haven't seen you around for a while. I think I was talking with Keith the other day about you, about how you had some stuff on your hard drive that I helped you with that you hadn't done anything with. And Jennifer says it's just that. It's past midnight here. And Keith says, hi, Jason. I'm from the UK. Ron says, what's up, superstar? Ron, hey, how are those chiropractors doing? You get that business up off the ground yet? Mark Roddell's here. Mark says, say hello to Maddie for me. Mark Roddell says, hi, Maddie. And Brad says, hello, Jason. This is going to be as much of a killer webinar as your copywriting one. Brad, some people are saying it's better. I don't know. I'll leave that for you to decide. Maddie says, can I pester you and ask you a million questions today? Oh, absolutely. Oh, David Husnian's here. Hey, David, how you doing? K-Dog says, hey, brother, thought I could come in as a panelist and steal the show. Mark says, Jason Flatland is one of the best marketers. Arrive. Okay, David, yeah, I'll contact you. Yep. And Lorraine says, you are fantastic. And Thomas says, you are on the man. Oh, K-Dog says, this is Keith Doherty, by the way. Okay, yeah, Keith, I was just talking about you. And Davis says, this is the first live webinar we'll be a part of. Awesome, awesome. Great to be here. Well, Dave, that's great. I might spoil all future webinars for you, though. And Panak says, this is the same webinar as you did with James. Yes, it is, Panak. Slight modifications. I made it a little smoother. And Mike says, hey, Jason, your last email says it's starting at 7:30 p.m. Mike, that's actually 7:30 Eastern, which is 6:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And Martin says, one of the best, the freaking best. And Keith says, all bad things, of course. Awesome. Yeah, we will be starting here in about 5 minutes. And let's see if we got that. We got the numbers up here. Oh, we're at 2,998. I don't know if we can get 3,000 yet. I love it when we've already maxed out the lines as I see the numbers creeping in, more people attending before we've even started the webinar. Oh yeah, Mark, no problem on that console that we did a few weeks back. He says, thanks for the one-to-one, Jason. I'm now getting more focused with my direction on what to go, and I am. And Maddie says, it's effing 12:26 p.m. here in the UK. And then she says, hey, Mark Roddell too. Oh, Thomas says, congratulations to your lovely baby. That reminds me, we just got some pictures today. Let me see if I can remember where those were at. Sixfigurebaby.com. Yeah, so great story. This was actually the dress that she got a picture in. A lady named Deb, who's a client of mine, she sent this to me in the mail when when Lainey was born. And so she actually sent that in the mail to us. And so I told her, I go, I love the dress, so we're going to use it in the picture. So yeah, my clients are hooking me up. So she's about 3 months old, but she's already over 2 feet tall. And Mark says, I hope you invested in the shotgun when the boys come a calling. Yeah, so we got pictures of her. There she is looking at the camera. And there's a little close up of her with her little cute hair thing going on there. That's one of my favorites right there, the side profile. And there she is again. She looks just like her daddy. She looks a lot like me. Uh, I wish I could have developed the pictures today. So today I handed her some $100 bills because I was like, you got to get used to handling some money. So I took pictures of her holding $100 bills. I don't know if that's smart or not. Yeah, there's another one of her. She's a big girl. And now here's the cute ones. The really cute ones. Again, she looks just like me in that picture. And there she is, kind of sleepy. Tim Warren. Hey Tim, how you doing? I hadn't seen you in a while. Oh, Dave says for the first time I had to get a refund for one of your products last week, only to invest in something more expensive. He said. That's why he had to do that to invest in something more expensive. Here's another one of her sleeped out. Oh, now she's got her eyes open. Aw, she's such a cutie. Oh, and Art says, thanks for the webinar the other day, Jason. Hope you got my email the other day. I made some money with selling a report the next day after the webinar. Cool, Art. That's awesome. That shows you can make money right after this call that we're going to do. And let's see if we're over the 3,000 mark yet as far as signups go and registrants go. Ooh, 3,000 exactly. And Bruce says, I wonder how many here have already signed up for your course. Bruce, see, that's a good testament. I have noticed that when we do our free webinars, because naturally I'll be offering something at the end of this call. Shot, gasp, right? But Wall says, he's like, I've already signed up. So Wall has already signed up, and he's here again to watch the webinar that he already seen before and signed up for earlier this week or last week. And Maddie saw the webinar. He says now watching the recording and watching this again. And marks, it says reference to the 58 minutes of pure unadulterated content. Yes, it's just a matter of where you start counting the 58 minutes at, Mark, and where you end. And Art says, I'm waiting for the special bonus at the end. Art, we don't have that bonus anymore. I gave that very limited on James's call specifically for James, so that one's gone, unfortunately. Yeah, and David Birch says, will the replay be available? The roofer is coming to give me an estimate. Yes, the replay will be available. And Glenn's already watched the webinar recording. I don't know. You guys twisted my arm. Maybe I'll throw that in there just for you, Art. If you sign up, Art, I'll give you that bonus. And the same thing with you, Glenn. But nobody else. Yes, Art. Seriously, I'm serious. And Keith, no, you're fine. Don't worry about taking up a spot. If you got on here, you get on here. We are not maxed out yet, surprisingly. The numbers are creeping up, but we have not hit 1,000 on this call yet. I hope we do, though. So, and by the way, I was kidding Mary Louise about the bonus. Okay, Todd's here. All right, so I think we're just going to start. You know, clearly I'm seeing the numbers for the attendee list keep going up and up and up yet. We haven't hit the 1,000. It'll be interesting to see if we do. I have a feeling that we will. And so we'll just start for everybody who's been here earlier and ready to go. Oh, Caleb's here. Caleb says, I had my mom log me in. I was so excited. Caleb, yeah. I wish I was young like you and had my mom log me into webinars when I was 15. That's awesome. Yeah. Oh, he'll be 16 in a week. Well, congrats, Caleb. All right, so let's do this. Pure Unadulterated Product Creation Secrets by Jason Fladlin, your host for tonight. On this webinar, I'm going to show you a formula for fast, low-ticket product creation of 2 hours or less. Okay? What else will I show you? I'll show you product ideas that are guaranteed winners if you create them. One of the hardest parts about creating products is the product topic. A lot of people mess this one up. I'll show you how to eliminate that once and for all. Finally, I'm going to give you an A to Z product creation model that I first offhandedly showed this guy who I now call the 10K kid, and I was hoping he was on this call. Dang it, he should be here right now. He owes me a testimonial. The 10K kit, I'm going to show you that as well, okay? Now, in return, I'm going to ask you for a few things. The first of which is I am going to ask for your full attention and interaction, okay? So I'm looking at the audience view right now, and we have 98%, okay? Somebody just dropped down. I'm looking to get this at 100% audience view, which is pretty hard to do because considering we have so many people on the call. We got 98%. Let's get it to 99. If you're not, oh, there we go. It's at 100% exactly. Awesome. Okay, and Jay said he was going to be on later tonight. That's what my assistant just said. Oh, Jay's right there. Okay, cool, Jay. Stay on the call and make sure you have mic access because I might just unmute you, okay? So in return, I'm going to ask for your full attention and interaction. I have that now, 100%. Full attention. I also want your interaction, all right? I also want you to test me. I want you to ask me the hard questions, okay? Don't take anything at face value, okay? If it doesn't make sense to you, ask me. I can't guarantee I'll get to all the questions on this call, but I will look for the hard questions and answer them, okay? And yes, I will be making an offer at the end of this call, okay? That's absolutely my job to you, is to create a wonderful offer at the end of this call that you'll absolutely be happy to invest in, okay? And I want you to sign up for it, plain and simple, but only under the condition that the free content on this webinar blows you away. So I'm going to do something here. I'm going to make this question screen as big as I can get it. And I want everybody that sounds good to type in yes into the questions box right now. And I'll see how fast I can read these names. Kelly, Ron, Ross, Marco, Teresa, Jude, Janet. I can't even come close. Caleb, Newell, Matt, Susan, Neil, David, Mike, Lawrence, Dee Dee, Becky, Sean, Alan, Vincent, Mike, Robert, Sean, Judith, Jeff, Gordon, Stan, Mike, Lee, Jeff, Sammy, Deborah, Patrick, Roger. I didn't even come close. I tried though. You got to give me that. All right? So let me give you a little bit of a precursor now. Product creation precursor. I guarantee you on this call, I guarantee you I can show you a treasure trove. Not just one or two kind of, oh, that's interesting things, but a lot of, oh my goodness, this is going to change my whole business life things just on this little webinar that we're doing, okay? And I can show you secrets no one else can show you, and I can show you these very concisely and precisely. And the simple reason why is I dare you to name somebody else who is prolific as I am when it comes to product creation. I've created over 46 products in the last 2 years. That is a conservative estimate. When you count in all the membership content, when you count in everything else, it's probably over 100. And Wyatt says, can I outsource this whole progress? Yeah, Wyatt, you can, okay? But I think it's more valuable if you do it on your own, because then you can't really outsource what you don't know. But once you know this, then yes, you could outsource it. I've done some insane stuff like create 6 months of membership content in less than 2 weeks. You guys probably are familiar with my 32 free reports that I give away everywhere and have my affiliates give away everywhere, okay? I created those 32 free reports in 25 days and actually got paid $500 per report to create them, which was nice, right? $15,000 to create lead magnets, which gives me a lot of business. I'll take that any day of the week. All right. And I have written and published books and CDs on Amazon.com in under 2 hours. I can't tell you how cool of a feeling it is when it takes the book longer to be shipped to your house than it does to write the book. Okay. And I went from $12 an hour house painter to $100,000 a year marketer to $100,000 plus a month marketer in kind of an unusual way, right? You don't see me participating in these big launches. I don't have a whole slew of powerhouse affiliates. In fact, most of my affiliates nobody even knows about. And I don't do these big launches with these fancy, sales contests and leads contests and the 15 upsells and the 22 exit pop-ups and all that junk, right? I do it mostly based on a strong line of consistent products that I release one after the other after the other. And can a newbie do this? I'm glad somebody asked that. I will show you exactly how a newbie can do this, okay? And just so anybody who doesn't know who I am yet, the simple proof is, and we won't spend that much time on it, I don't always do six-figure months, but I do enough of them to be very happy with them. And what you're seeing before you is just my merchant account. Our PayPal numbers are not as good as these, but they're nothing to sneeze at, and every time I look at this, I get a smile on my face. I want you to be able to, once you understand these product creation secrets, to look at your bank account, and every time you do, get a smile on your face. This is just until basically the first day of August of this year. I haven't even updated it since August, but otherwise it'd be even cooler, right? And can somebody do this absolutely with no list or traffic? Well, no, you can't do this with no traffic. That would be impossible. But will you be able to get traffic with some of these techniques? Yes, there is a traffic secret that's bundled in, okay? So hopefully, though, those numbers excite you. I already saw Joe say, woohoo! Okay, if they don't excite you, you're in the wrong business. Maybe you should consider charity, all right? And James says, I would take your lowest month just once to be happy. Yes, James, I would too. 2 years ago, I would be in your position. And I agree with you, and that's where I started. And with consistent product creation, one after the other after another, that's how you get there, okay? Like I say, I went from 0 to currently on pace to do the big 7 figures this year. Yes, $1 million, baby, in gross, in less than 3 years of time. Now, I'm not saying as you're insane as me. Hopefully, you're not as insane as me, okay? Because I doubt you could match me product for product. I'm pretty insane, right? Okay? I'm pretty crazy. But surely, I hope you do believe that with these strategies, you can add some ones and some zeros to your bank account. Like I said, you might not be able to do as good as me, but you could do as good as what somebody was saying when they said, I'd take your lowest number, right? So yes, no, you think some of these strategies I'm going to show you can add some ones and zeros to your bank account? You ready for this, or what? DJ says yes, James says yes, Kevin says yes, Art says yes, Lowell says yes, Antoinette says yes, Todd, Dave, Jude, Keith, David, Roger, Robert, Derek, Patrick, Todd, Tony, Zach, Carrie, Mohammed says yes. All right, nice. Let's do this. Okay, this is my favorite part. Let's get to some hardcore content. I like Kelly's explicitness. Let's get to some hardcore content. This is my humble beginning right here. I was a dorky ghostwriter. I'm still dorky, but I'm not a ghostwriter anymore, right? I had a great product idea in me because I was a ghostwriter for the first 3 months, and very quickly I discovered I could write an article extremely fast. Okay? But I waited 1 month knowing that I could create this product that everybody wanted. Because everybody on the Warrior Forum and everybody everywhere was going, at this time, article marketing was the craze, right? They were like, oh my God, how do you make money with article marketing? Article marketing, bum marketing, some other goofy name for article marketing. Yeah. So month 1 goes by. I knew I had a blockbuster product in me. I didn't create it. I was scared. Month number 2 goes by. I'm still banging away painlessly, article by article, and making peanuts, right? And I'm scared. Month 2 goes by. Freaked out of my mind. Month 3 goes by, and I said, you know what? By the end of month 3, I said, Jason, it's time for you to finally create your first product. Because yes, 3 years ago, I had never created a product. Ever. Right? Because I was scared. But by luck or fate or whatever you want to call it, I stumbled upon a product creation formula that I created my first product with, and it's a formula that I still use today. Isn't that wonderful? The very first formula I ever stumbled upon to create a product is a formula I still use today. And so, to answer the question again, can you use these tactics if you're just starting out? The answer is, of course. Okay? And this is the thing right here. One sitting product creation. Here's my dilemma. See, I knew it. For 3 months straight, I knew I could write a product on how to write an article in 7 minutes because I consistently did that, right? And I knew people wanted this info. But every time I sat down to create a product in the past, I never saw it through. Okay? I never saw it through. So the master question I asked myself one day that changed my whole life around was this. If every time I sat down and did a product, if I got up, the product never got finished, what would I have to do this time for it to be different? Okay, if every time you sat down to create a product in the past, and when you got up it wasn't done, the answer is one sitting. Okay? The answer is do it in one setting. Specifically, here is the master answer. The product must be created from start to finish in one sitting. Okay, here's the deal. Here's what you're going to do from now on when you want to create a product fast and put yourself in a position to make some money, right? You sit down with a blank page, a blank audio, a blank video, a blank whatever, and when you get up, you have something that you can sell to somebody. You got that? Okay, you sit down with nothing, and when you get up, you have something that you can sell to somebody. Right? Got it? You sit down And when you get up, you have something that you can sell to somebody. Okay, the worst product that's done is better than the best product that's never done. Okay? Yes. And Christian says, easier said but done. Ha ha, but great idea, Jason. Christian, this isn't an idea. This is a lifestyle. Okay? This is a lifestyle. All right? And who else advocates this? One sitting product creation. They don't teach you this because they don't know this. They don't think it's possible. But it is possible, and it does work, and it works extremely well, and I've trained so many people to do this. Okay? But isn't this wonderful thinking? Let's step back now. Let's just say that you were strong enough to commit and say, you know what, Jason, this sounds good. I'm just going to put it to the test. Maybe I could do it, maybe I can't, because George is asking me, Jason, can a newbie do this? Okay, George, here's the answer. Put it to the test and find out. Okay, K-Dog, Keith says it works. My last 3 products were done this way, right? Check it out. Wonderful thinking. One sitting product creation forces you to make your product short, right? 100% one sitting product creation forces your product to be short, doesn't it? Okay, and Barry says, what is the average time for one sitting? For me, it's anywhere from 30 minutes to 3 hours. Depends, right? But when you say, as soon as I get up, the product is finished, that product can't be very long, can it? Okay? So it better damn well cover the good stuff. Okay? Forget about all the other stuff. Just cover the good stuff. And make it actionable. Because you ain't making it long, so you better make it good, and you better make it actionable. And Herbert says, but will it sell? Herbert, my answer is, who cares? You don't have a lot writing if when you sit down, you bang something out and you get up and it's done, say it doesn't sell. Who cares? And we'll cover that, right? But think about this. If we're doing one sitting product creation, right, there's no history lessons. You don't say, okay, it all started back in 1996 when the search engine was invented. Back then you did a search engine, blah, 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 right? There's no anticipation of every possible scenario, right? There's no big grandiose solution. In fact, the magic formula is this. For your one sitting product, it is one problem, one solution. Okay? Etch that into your mind. Say to yourself mentally now, one problem, one solution. This will guarantee that you can do a product in one sitting. Okay? One problem, one solution. Okay? One sitting, one problem, one solution. It's always about the power of one. That's you. One product, one problem, one solution. So Mark says, give me an example. I will. Thank you for asking that, Mark. Here's the anatomy of success. Here was my first product I ever created. It was called How to Write an Article in 7 Minutes. It was 7 pages long. It was 7 pages long. First sentence had a typo in it. Okay, you guys are getting ahead of me. Because some of you know the answer to the last question, all right? The first sentence, though, it had a typo in it. Can you believe that? Here's what happened. I get ready to sell the product. I said, I'm going to check it one more time. Oh, the first sentence, I'm going to change one thing. I didn't proofread it again. First sentence had a typo. I was afraid. I was scared. You listen to me now and you say, there's Jason. There's no way you could have ever been scared. You have 3,000 plus people registered for this call, almost the max lines on this call, and you're just taking it in stride, and you were scared? And I'll tell you, I was absolutely scared. Okay, so guess what I sold it for, okay? We have some people already typing in. Kelly says 7, Ken says 7, Mark says 7. A couple of you already know the answers. A lot of you know the answers because you follow me, which I take as a compliment. But we're getting anywhere from 7 to 27 to 11 to 47. Somebody said free, okay? We have people on this call who bought this product over 3 years ago who are saying, I bought this product when it first came out at the price you sold it for, okay? The price I sold it for was not $97. It was not $47. It was not $27. It was not $17. It was not even $7. $4. The first product that I ever sold was a one-sitting product, right? I sat down at about 2.5 hours later, I was finished. Now let's think about this for a second. You're laughing at me probably, right? You're laughing because you're thinking, it took you 2.5 hours, Jason, to write 7 pages? Yes, it did. Because I was scared out of my mind, right? So I was thinking about every word. And we're talking 7 pages. These were wide margins, big fonts. 7 pages still took me 2.5 hours. I could do that now in a half an hour. But back then it took me 2.5 hours because I was scared, right? And when I was done, I was so scared that I sold it for $4. Okay? Now think about this for a second. Do you have to be? I'm a good copywriter now. But back then, I'd never written a sales letter. The first sales letter I ever wrote was for the first product I ever created. But do you think you have to be a good copywriter to sell a product for $4? Okay, if the product is how to write an article in 7 minutes, you don't have to be a good copywriter to sell it for $4, which is why I priced it at $4. Because I was scared, right? So you're thinking, Jason, you goofy son of a gun. It took you 2.5 hours to write a 7-minute report on writing, or 7-page report on writing articles fast. Okay, and you sold it for $4? Jason, you goofy son of a gun. Oh, you think that's funny, don't you? Okay. Now I used one traffic source to sell it, and that was the Warrior Forum. Back then it was a lot easier, I'll give you that. But still, I put it on the Warrior Forum, and I got 268 sales in less than 24 hours. Awesome. Thank you for the list. Screw the money, I'll take the list, right? By the way, really quickly, offhand, do you know what the average is, the general rule of thumb? The general rule of thumb is what? A buyer is equal to how many prospects on your email list in terms of value. A buyer is equal to how many? Derek says 20, Patrick says 10. Okay, 10 times, 10 to 15, 10, 7, 7 to 10, 12, 25. Okay, the general rule of thumb, the average in internet marketing and the average on email marketing is a prospect is worth, it takes 10 prospects to equal 1 buyer, okay, in terms of value, okay? 10 to 1. 10 prospects will be about equal to 1 buyer in terms of the value of that email list to you, okay? Mine's much higher. But the average general rule of thumb is 10 to 1. Okay, so let's just take it at 10. In 24 hours, I built a list that was valuable to 2,680 prospects, right? That's pretty cool because think about all these ad swappers out there. Maybe you're an ad swapper. Maybe you know one, right? They're banging their head against the wall week after week, and they finally built a list of 2,680, and that's only equal to value of my 268 buyers list. But I got that list in 24 hours. And who here on this call? I bet you we have people on this call. I know we have Elizabeth. They were on this first initial list of 268 people who are still on my list today, who are still on webinars, this webinar. They're on this webinar right now from this thing I did over 3 years ago, from 268 copies. Awesome. Okay? So thank you for the list, right? But I immediately bumped the price. And see, Bart says, I remember, right? I immediately bumped the price, and I sold a couple hundred more copies in a week. I was hooked. Okay? I was hooked. Now, I didn't make a lot of money because back then PayPal had a sliding scale where they took out like $1.92 or $2.92. I think $1.92 out of every $4 sale. But still, I made like $1,000, and I had 1,000-person lists. Okay, Derek says I bought it when it was $7. That was the price that we bumped it up to, was $7. I was hooked. I was hooked. I said, if I can do this once, could I not do this every single week? You know, make 4 or 6 grand and then keep making more and more because I got a list now? I was hooked. Now, anybody on this call with a shred of ambition, a shred of focus, a shred of desire, and at least a few brain cells, okay? At least a few, right? Can do this, okay? Somebody says that would be awesome. No, Thomas, it should be that is awesome. Put it in the present tense, right? Somebody asks, how do I know what kind of product I should sell? I will get to that, Carrie. And what's funny is somebody said I paid $47 and it was worth every penny. What's cool is we sell that product now for $47, $37 to $47. Because we've added to it, right? I knew it was a success, so I kept building on it and kept raising the price. And we sell copies today at $47. Okay? That's how it is. And can it be done outside of the internet marketing niche, Carrie asks? Absolutely. We have clients who do it all the time outside the internet marketing niche. I just did a consult with a guy today who is working in a niche completely outside of internet marketing. And I laid out the same strategy that I'm going to lay to you right now. Your first or your next product. Okay? If you've never created a product as your first, or if you have in the past, then your next product is going to be a one problem, one solution product. Okay? It's going to be done in one sitting. Okay? It's going to be presented in a step-by-step format. And Emmanuel said, would love to do it in the health and fitness niche. Emmanuel, last time we did the product creation e-class, Chris Chase, I think, Chris, you're on this call, aren't you? Chris created his first product in the health and wellness niche. And he sold copies on it immediately. Chris, if you're there, let me know. Because Chris was one of our students last time, and he did this. He sat down and created one sitting product in the health and wellness niche. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to tell you to sell it at a ridiculously low price. You're going to create a one problem, one solution product. Think about this. Let me ask you a question. When I created a product on how to write an article in 7 minutes, do you think I talked about how to make money with your articles on Easy Articles and get more traffic with your articles? Because a lot of people are asking me, how do you define one problem? Okay, so we're saying no, 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 right? Do you think I talked about how to use article submission robots? No, I didn't, did I? Do you think I talked about anything besides writing articles fast? No, I did not. No. Here was the product. Here was the product. The product says, here's how you write an article in 7 minutes. Step 1, open these 3 resources. This is where you're going to do your research. Step 2, this is how you skim through these resources to find your 3 main points. Step 3, this is how you find your 2 subpoints. Step 4, this is how you organize your 3 main points and your subpoints into body content. Step 5, this is how you make your introductory paragraph. Step 6, this is how you make your closing paragraph. Step 7, this is how you proofread for speed. Step 8, you're done. That was the whole product. Only 7 pages, right? Get it? Okay, somebody on this call said, Jason, I created my first product after watching your webinar last week. He goes, it didn't sell well, but it sold. Exactly. Okay, you might not, I hit a home run the first time. I'm not saying you will, but the fact is, you don't lose when you create a product. And what's funny is, I'm telling you, you got to sell it at a low price. Okay, because I don't want anything to get in your way. So don't make it a high price, too much pressure. Make it a low price. Now, don't give it away for free, okay? Because that's the worst way to start out a business. Get buyers right away. But how low is low? Low could be 1 penny, okay? Low could be 1 penny, but just put a price on it, okay? So this is where I fail, that's funny. This is where you fail, and I excel. Fail, excel, like that I used to be a rapper, okay? Fail, excel, right? See, because when you're thinking, oh, gee, what price should I price this product at? Because somebody just asked me, how low is low, right? Who cares, right? While you're thinking about price, I just kind of throw a number out there. So while you're thinking about price, my product is already a quarter of the way done. The result? I win. Okay? I seen people on this call earlier saying, Jason, what should my topic be about? What should my topic be about, Jason? I have hundreds of ideas for topics. Okay? Hundreds of ideas for topics. In fact, this is what happens. When I'm creating that one sitting, one problem, one solution product, what do you suppose happens? When I'm sitting down there, creating that one sitting, one problem, one solution product, more ideas come in, don't I? Yeah, I get more ideas. Typically, this is how it works for me. For every one product that I create that's one sitting, one problem, one solution, I'll get about 5 more ideas. Okay? So every time I create one product, I get 5 ideas for 5 new products. Okay? One product, 5 ideas for 5 new products. Right? I don't know how that works. It's just cool that it works that way. So there's no possible way I can implement any new idea, every new idea. Okay? So when I want to create my next product, I just say, let me pull up my list. Okay? Boom, that one sounds good. I'm off to the races. So while you're still thinking about your idea for your product, I'm already done with my product. Result? I win. Okay? I win. And what's cool is when I'm done with that product, while you're still thinking about your product, people are coming up to me who bought that product and say, Jason, that product was great. Can you please now create a product on blank? Right? And now I'm getting people coming to me with money in hand saying, please, please, Jason, can I please have your money? Or can I please give you my money? Because I want this, and I want you to create it. I love being in that position. You could be there too. How do you do that? You put a lot of products out there, you sell a lot of them, and then people will come up to you and say, Jason, please, or Bruce, please, or Caleb, please, or Carrie, please, or Mike, please, or Mark, or Michael, or Antoinette, or Patrick, or Elizabeth, or Alan, or Scott, please create this product because I want to buy it from you. And there will be a replay, yes, because there's a lot of people who just popped in on this call. There will be a replay, okay? So let's talk, though. I'm talking about failure and excelling, right? Failure and success, okay? What is success? Okay, what is success? I guarantee you if you follow this formula, that one sitting, one problem, one solution, low price, right? What is success? I guarantee if you follow that, you will be successful. And you say to me, Jason, how can you guarantee my success? Because I know a thing about success, okay? Let me define to you what success is, okay? An inevitable. Boy, you guys really love my spelling errors, don't you? It's Steve. This is really quickly. A side note. Steve says, you're a real Superman. It took me 3 weeks to research and write about a good product. If you can create something so quick, good for you, mate, but I deal with quality. Okay, for everybody on this call, Steve's questioning quality. Everybody on this call, do I not deliver the highest quality products? Are my products not some of the highest quality products you've ever seen? The best. Yes, your quality is top notch. Yes, 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 yes. 1,000%. Absolutely. Oh, hell yes. Great products. Damn right. You excel in quality. Jason gives great quality. Absolutely. Yes, 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 yes. Bar says, are you kidding me? So I'm not saying it's cut corners on quality. But think how good your quality is when it's focused so tightly on one solution, right? It's focused so tightly on delivering the answers to one solution. It can't be a bad product. It can't be a bad product if it's focused on one solution, right? Because you tell them in the sales copy, hey, this is a low price product. It's only focused on this one solution. How are they going to complain? Because it's so tightly focused, right? But success is inevitable. Because here's why. Your success, if you follow this formula, it will be inevitable. Don't worry about good quality or bad quality. Don't worry about price. Don't worry about topic. Your success will be inevitable if you follow this one product, one sitting, one problem, one solution. Okay? Here's inevitable success. Here's the definition for you so you understand this. If the product sells well, great. I'll buy some new toys, right? If the product doesn't sell well, great. I'll make it a bonus for a future product. If the product does okay, great. I will sell the resale rights to it and double my income from the launch. Okay? Where's failure at on this? Where's failure at on this slide? I don't see it. So while you've got all these weird, goofy thoughts bouncing around your head about, well, what happens if turn them down. Make them disappear. They're gone. Silence them. Silence them. Because there's no failure in creating a product in one sitting. What are you out 2 hours a time? But you have an asset in your place now. You have an asset in your place. Because if it doesn't even sell, you make it a bonus for a future product. Or maybe somebody comes to you and say, you know what? I would have bought the product, but blank. And you say, okay, great. Well, I can give you blank. Now will you buy the product? And they'll say, yes. Huh? Isn't that cool? Regardless, though, the only thing that separates you and me is I have thousands of hours of experience to draw up on. For most of you on this call, I have over 1,000 hours of experience on you. Okay? Because I'm fearless now. I'm fearless now because whether the product is good, great, bad, okay, or whatever, each product makes me better. Each product makes me more efficient, and each product makes me more confident to create the next, and each product is an asset in my business. Okay? Now think about this. Do you suppose if you had this same attitude, you could not make a lot more money? Yes, right? Do you suppose that if you hunkered down and said, I don't care anymore, I'm just going to bang out all these little products, one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. Do you think that each product that you did would make you better? Do you think each product that you did would make you more efficient? Do you think each product you did would make you more confident? And do you think each product would probably start making you more money than the last product did, right? Yes, 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 yes to all those. Okay, so no more. This is the most serious part of this whole webinar right here. No more. I want you to swear to me and all that is holy that you will no longer get in the way of your own God-given right to get incredibly rich. Swear before me right now. I'm telling you, swear before me right now. Okay? That you will no longer get in the way of your own God-given right to be incredibly rich. Say, Jason, I swear I will no longer get in my own way of my God-given right to be incredibly wealthy. Okay? Because that's what's happening with you right now. Okay? And Deborah, she goes, I swear, cuss word, cuss word, cuss word, cuss word. Okay? Don't get in your way anymore. That's what's happening with you right now. You're getting in the way of your own God-given right to be incredibly rich. But that's no more. It's gone. Say goodbye to it. Wave goodbye to it now. Peace out. It disappeared. It's gone. So now you have no more excuses but to get to it and start making some money. Okay? And the simplest, surest, easiest way to get incredibly rich is by offering more value than the price you charge. Okay? Let me say that again. The simplest, surest, easiest way to get incredibly wealthy is by offering more value than the price you charge and doing it over and over and over and over and over again. Okay? Now products. That's how you offer value. So now let me help you hit a home run. Okay? Real talk. Some products will do better than others. Some products will flop miserably. Some will do okay. And some will be home runs that you can build a six-figure business around. I've done this several times. A lot of times these little one sitting, one problem, one solution products that I had no expectation of went on to do six figures. Okay? I would have never thought it. So let's do a little warm-up exercise. Okay? What's wrong with these products? Feng Shui for the busy corporate executive. What's wrong with that product? Okay, I'm looking at a lot of these answering. A lot of you guys haven't got the answer to this yet. Okay? Now I could sit down and create that product in one sitting, right? And it wouldn't be a loss if I did create the product, but it probably wouldn't sell that much. Here's why. Do you think corporate executives give a damn about Feng Shui? Okay? So if you want to talk about hitting home runs, creating products that build six-figure businesses, you ain't going to do it with this one. Because this creates this is a problem that's marketing sin number one. You can't sell something to somebody who doesn't want it. Okay? You can't sell Jesus to fundamentalist Islamics, right? You can't sell the Buddha to Billy Graham, right? So for home runs, you got to sell something to somebody who wants it, okay? Now, here's the second one. What's wrong with this one? Business Planning 101. Fundamentalist Muslim extremists. I know you guys are really making fun of me tonight. I like that. Okay, Business Planning 101. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of different answers here. You guys are pretty close on this one. Here's the problem with this one. You are not going to compete successfully with this product because you can go down to any bookstore and find 15 books on Business Planning 101. You can go to the library and get 20 books for free on Business Planning 101. You know, you can go to the Small Business Administration and get it for free from retired old war dogs in the business world, right? So marketing sin number two that will stop you from creating a home run is selling something where there's no way that you can get in and compete on it, or it'd be way too hard to do it, right? Okay, number 3, the complete A to Z real estate investing guide. No topic left behind, okay? You cannot create this product in one sitting, can you? No, you cannot do it. It's not one problem, one solution either. Okay? So that one was easy, right? So let's review real quick. You can't sell something to somebody who doesn't want it. You can't sell if the market's already been completely sold to. You can't sell something that's going to take you forever to create it, because I'll create 10 things and sell them by the time you're done with this one thing. Now let's look at number 4, money-making tactics for preteens. Okay? You guys are getting good now. You guys are getting this stuff. Okay? I don't know too many preteens who have credit cards who can purchase stuff online. Okay? So marketing sin number 4 is you can't sell something to somebody who can't buy it. Right? If they can't buy it, Caleb says, except Caleb. So Caleb, but you're not a preteen, Caleb. You're 15. You're going to be 16 next week. Okay, but for overall, you can't do that. Now, the last one's my favorite. I saved the best for last. How to make your own deodorant. Okay, what's the problem with this one? I mean, there's a lot of problems, but what's the main problem? Okay, I've given you a hint, by the way. What's the main problem? Okay, the main problem is this isn't a big enough problem. Okay, dang it, I was going to use my punchline on this one. The problem with this product is it stinks. That's all the funny people on the call. I got that from a webinar that we did, the first one, right? Okay, the problem though with this is that there's no big enough problem. There's not a big enough problem. Okay, that's the problem with this. Okay, so now let's do the converse. What's right with these products? Okay, how to set up a membership site in under 6 minutes with completely free software. What's right about that product? Okay, it's one problem, one solution. That is correct. Okay, instant gratification. That is also correct. Okay, now the third one that made this one the most successful that everybody overlooks is this. Here's the reason why this product was as successful as it was. The product is it solved a major pain point. Okay, the product it solved a major pain point, because the marketplace at this time, first of all, it was taking people days, weeks, or months to create a membership site. So I saved them the agony, right? The second thing is membership site stuff was expensive back then. Hell, it still is, right? So I saved them the agony of shelling out a whole bunch of money and time with other stuff. So I had everything right about this product. One problem, one solution. It was done in one sitting. Instant gratification. And it solved a major pain point. Okay, now the funny story is, because some people are asking me about how this product was created. Actually, the last time we did the product creation e-class, which was over a year ago, on week 1, part of the deal was I said, okay guys, I'm going to show you I can create products in one sitting, and this is no bull, right? It was a challenge. David, you were there. So David Birch was part of the first product e-class. So what I did at the end of the class is I asked everybody, what product do you want me to create? And the majority of people said, create something on membership sites, Jason. And I said, boring. I don't want to do that. It doesn't excite me, but okay, majority wins. You guys want me to create a product on this? I'll create it. So I created this product on how to set up a membership site in under 6 minutes with completely free software. And not only did I gave it away. Everybody who was part of the product e-class got the resell rights, where they could keep 100% of the profits. Okay? And Jerry says, Mike Paetzold and I copied the 6-minute formula exactly, and it works as advertised. Mike Paetzold, Jerry, was a member of the last product e-class. And Mike took the resell rights to that product and sold a ton of copies with it. Okay? What was great is we gave this product away for everybody with resell rights. And more specifically, I used it myself, and we sold over $100,000 from this one product. This one little product generated me over $100,000 in income. In fact, this one product got me one client who pays me $50,000 a year because of this one product. And Mike Paetzold, who's on the call, hey Mike, how you doing? He says, yes, I did, and I still do sell it. And Mike keeps 100% of the profits because he was part of the last class. And that was the deal. I gave him resale rights. But isn't that wonderful? One product, one problem, one solution, instant gratification, and Big pain point relief. I sold this product for 17 bucks, by the way, and everybody in the class got the resale rights to it for free. Okay. Second one, your own lead magnet book and offline consulting website created and set up for you on the web and on Amazon. Okay. And Mike sells it for more than I do. He sells it for more money than I sell it for, which he has the right to do, right? Okay, your own lead magnet book and offline consulting website created and set up for you on the web and on Amazon. What is good about that? And K-Dog, are you still here, Keith? This is a business venture that me and Keith are going to be doing together. We estimate it'll be a very easy side 10K a month business. And the reason why is Joe has got it. So Keith, who's on this call, me and Keith are going to be partnering on this one, and we should easily do $10,000 a month each on this product. The main reason why this product works is because it is done for you. Okay, so home run products that are done for you are great. Okay, because talk about instant gratification, right? Talk about a major pain relief, right? Cool. Okay. Third one, reduce your anxiety by 83% of the next 24 hours with free alternative medicines. What are all the obvious ones? What are all the obvious reasons why this is a home run winner? Okay, massive pain reduction, instant gratification, one problem, one solution. This product can be done in one setting. There is one thing that you're not getting, though. There's one extra thing that will make this product make this a home run winner. Okay, anybody can answer this. Guess what the answer is. If you were on any of my other calls, you should know the answer to this because I give you the answer on the next slide. Okay. There is one other reason why this product is a home run winner. You still haven't got it yet. Okay? Come on, because the next slide it shows it. So all you people who are on all the other calls who've already seen this webinar, you should know the answer. Oh, you didn't get it. All right, we're going to go back to it later on the next slide and see if you can figure it out. Okay, finally, the last one. Powerful product launch strategies you can learn in a few minutes for only $47. Okay, this last one is so powerful. It's very sly, but if you get this one, oh my God, it can make you a lot of money. This one little strategy alone will be so beneficial for you if you get this. Okay, a lot of people are getting this, okay? But let me ask you this. Who's the big product launch guy in our marketplace? The big guy, right? Jeff Walker. And, you know, Jeff Walker, he sells product launch formula for, what is it? I don't know. It's really cheap, isn't it? Oh, yeah, $2,000, right? Okay, and, you know, but it's only got like 5 DVDs in it, right? I mean, like 5 DVDs and a small manual, right? Oh, it doesn't? It's got something like 368 DVDs and 3,622 pages of content. Now, don't get me wrong. I bought the product, okay? And I've got a lot of value from it, okay? But there's more than one way to sell successfully, okay? For every person who has $2,000 to invest, who has the time to sit through all those videos, and who is insane enough, by all means, Jeff will sell a lot of them and make a ton of money, okay? But for everybody else, think about this. Jeff educates the whole marketplace on how wonderful product launches are. By the time you're done, you think product launches are the greatest thing in the world. And then you realize you don't have $2,000 to drop on a product launch course, but then all of a sudden Jason comes along with a $47 offer and a very streamlined version of product launches. I think that thing would sell a whole lot of copies. Okay? Now what's great about this? What's great about this is every time Jeff relaunches product launch formula, we get a whole slew of sales. We get a ton of sales. Because here's what happens, and this can happen to you if you really get this stuff and actually do it. Okay? Affiliates will mail their list. Because there's some affiliates that hate jumping on the bandwagon and promoting the big product launches, right? So they go out of their way to promote something that's alternative to the big launch that everybody else is promoting. So a lot of affiliates who go out of their way look for a product. They find my product on Product Launch Formula, the poor man's version, right? And then they promote my product instead. So every time he does a launch, they promote my product. Anytime anybody pops on a forum and says, hey, do you know what I should do for product launches? Somebody will recommend Jeff Walker, but guess what? Jeff Walker's course is closed. You can't buy it right now, can you? Somebody says, I want to do something on product launch formula. Well, Jeff Walker's course is closed right now But there's this dude, Jason Flatlett, he's got a course and it's only like 47 bucks. And it's really simple. You should check that out instead. Oh, thank you. Okay, cool. All right, now here's the real devious tactic. Now, I'm not saying I've ever done this, but hypothetically, you possibly might be able to do this. Okay, here's the strategy, right? What's the average pre-launch time frame during these big $2,000 launches? The pre-launch, when the first email goes out to get you to sign up for the free report or the free video or whatever, right? Okay, the pre-launch itself when, okay, here's the email, go and sign up to this person's list for a free bribe, right? It's typically about 7 to 10 days, okay? It's about 7 to 10 days, okay? Now there's the launch frame itself, which is about another 7 to 10 days. And then there's the pre-launch, so it's about 25 days total. But the time affiliates start mailing for it, it's about 10 days out, right? So the affiliates will now go here, sign up, get this free thing, right? Then you get on the list. Then 2 days later, you get something else free. And then about 2 days later, you get something else free, right? And then the next day you say, okay, we're going to launch it on this time. So here's the prerequisite video you should watch before we launch it. That's the typical formula, right? So if you could do one product, one problem, one solution, I'm not saying I've ever done this. You could not even know about the launch. But this moment you find out about the pre-launch when it goes live, could you not go in there and create the product before they even launch their product? Could you not be selling your product before they've even launched their product? I'm just saying, I'm not saying I've ever done that. I'm not saying, think about this. One of the reasons product launches work is because the marketplace gets in a frenzy. Because they want it now, they want it now, they want it now, but they can't have it. Okay? So what do you think they do? They look for alternative things to whet their appetite in the meantime, right? And you're the dude who could get it. Okay, and then on launch day, everybody who doesn't want to promote the big thing will promote you instead. Okay, and even better, here's what you do. You talk about one product, one solution, right? You go onto their blog during pre-launch content phase, right? And you find all the questions that people are asking about that product. And you find that one person who's looking for pain relief on one problem. You see those patterns develop on these blogs, on the messages. And that's what you create your one product, one solution products around, right? Huh? Yeah? I'm not saying I've ever done that and made a ton of money doing it. I'm just saying it's possible. Okay, that's easy, by the way. Okay? So home run winners. Let me give you some specifics on how to create some home run winners, okay? So we already established one product, one problem, one solution, right? So this is taking it to the next level to get as close to a home run winner guarantee as possible, okay? Creating the product to have a very specific benefit in a very specific time frame. And even more specifically, that benefit should be the promise of relief of a giant problem, either directly or indirectly, okay? And or you can do done for you or as close to done for you as you can get. Okay, that helps a lot. The third thing is Achilles heels products. Piggybacking on 2K launches and creating the low ticket streamlined version. Okay? And think about this. Every single product has an Achilles heel. I don't care what the product is. Every product has an Achilles heel. Well, the Achilles heels of a lot of my products are their one problem, one solution, right? I don't give you everything about everything. I say screw the people who want to know everything about everything, right? They can buy from somebody else, okay? I'm just going to give you the thing that's down and dirty. Here you go, step 1 to step 3 to step 7, you're done. Okay, that's what you get from me, right? All right, but the big things, they have their own Achilles heel. Yeah, and Ken, you did get piggybacking. Yes, you got that, okay? But let's take it one step further. We talked about a very specific relief of pain in a very specific time. We talked about piggybacking off of launches. Now remember the reduce the anxiety by 83% in less than 24 hours? Okay, here was the real secret to that one. Products that can justifiably show you how to make more money than what you pay or save you more money than you otherwise would have saved if you didn't buy the product are the easiest to sell. So think about this. If you can show somebody how to reduce their anxiety by 83% in less than 24 hours without any medication, didn't you just save them more money in doctor's visits and paying for medication than the measly little product that they bought from you? Your product is basically free. right? Your product is more than free. It's better than free because it's easy to justify that you're going to save them more money, or that you're going to save them more time, or you're going to make them more money than they otherwise would get if they didn't buy the product. That's one of the secrets of home run winners. Okay, so think about this. Think about this. You got a product that's easy to justify that it's basically free. You got a product that promises a specific pain relief in a very short time frame, instant gratification, and that product piggybacks off of a launch. I don't see how you could fail. And you can't fail anyway, but I'm saying I don't see how you can't hit a home run winner with that. That sounds like a home run winner to me. Okay? And products that eliminate a giant pain point are easier to sell than products that deliver a giant benefit. This one is very, very interesting. Okay, everybody talks about pain is a greater motivator than pleasure, right? Why is that? Let me tell you the answer to that. Okay? People would rather get rid of something they already have that's bugging them than to get something they currently don't have, but if they did have it, their life would be better. Okay, so think about that again. Let's run through that again. People would rather get rid of something they already have than to get something they don't have. Do you see the difference for that from a psychological perspective? Do you see how that works? Get rid of something as opposed to obtain something. It's ownership. Do you get that? That's the difference of motivator. A pain product they already own. Okay? So that's very real to them because they already own it. Now, if you promise nothing but big benefits, that's great, and that might be nice to have, but they don't already have it, therefore it's harder for them to want to act and get it. You understand that? Okay? So think about this. What will sell better? A product that says how to cure your depression, or a product that says how to be 10 times happier in the next 7 days? What product do you think would work better? How to cure depression. And how much do you think that would outsell how to quadruple your happiness in the next 3 days for the rest of your life? How much do you think that would outsell that one? Easily 10 to 1, if not 100 to 1. Easily. Because they would rather get rid of something that they currently have that's bugging them than to get something that they don't have, but it would be nice to have. Okay? So that's why pain is a greater motivator than pleasure. And yes, this is a recording. Okay? Now, curing an existing acknowledged problem is infinitely easier to sell than preventing a problem that might occur. Here's the deal. You might know somebody who the day before they got diagnosed with diabetes, they could care less about diabetes. You couldn't sell them a book on diabetes if your life depended on it. But the day after you found out they were diagnosed with diabetes, next thing you know, they're down there at the library. They got 50 books checked out. They're on Amazon. They're buying 30 books on Amazon. They're calling all their friends and trying to get their advice about diabetes, right? That's the difference between an existing acknowledged problem and preventing a problem that might occur. Don't ever sell prevention, okay? So here's the easiest path to success. Create a short product that you can do in one sitting, that has instant gratification involved in it, that promise a very specific result of a pain relief that can be easily justified as free based on money saved, money made, time saved, or pain eliminated, right? And Dave says, don't sell insurance. Dave, you're absolutely right. Insurance is one of the hardest things to sell. That's why they're hard sellers. That's why they sell hard in insurance, because it's hard to sell. Okay? But that's the first skill you must master. And we do that with one sitting, one product, one problem, one solution. Right? And we get as many of those things as possible. Okay? And a lot of people ask, where do you recommend selling the products? We're going to get to that with this next strategy. Okay? This next strategy is cool. Okay? But this first skill you absolutely must master. Now, if you master this one skill and crank out a product every other week, I guarantee you, in 1 year, you will make 6 figures. I absolutely guarantee it. Okay, I will swear on my newborn daughter. That's how much I guarantee it. I will swear on Lainey. I guarantee it. Okay, think about this. If you just create a product every other week, all these goofy little problems that you're coming to me with now, like where do you recommend Jason selling this product? Jason, what price should I do? What about topics? You think this will work? You think that'll work? Turn it down, right? If you just create a product once every other week for the next year, I guarantee you in 1 year you'll make 6 figures. Absolutely guarantee it. Because over time you will just get a feel of what works and what doesn't work. And you will do more of what does work and do less of what doesn't work. Okay? Now, once you couple it with the next method, then expect mid to high six figures by the second years, and if you're as insane as I am, maybe seven figures by year 3. So who says you can't get rich? Okay? Because what's your definition of rich? This is mine. 3 years, 12 bucks an hour, 6-figure months. Boom. So here's the path to 7 figures. Okay, I showed you the low end. And now let me show you the mid end and the high end. That also has an inbuilt traffic generation strategy in it, okay? Because you guys are asking me, well, Jason, where do you sell this stuff at? Jason, where do I get the traffic for these products, okay? I got you covered, all right? Here's the deal. Proof makes you rich, okay? If you really want to sell with the big dogs on the high level, you need a lot of powerful proof, okay? And you probably don't have powerful proof right now. That's true, right? Now, you will get some proof accumulated over time by knocking out products that I showed you. One sitting, one problem, one solution, right? But the shortcut, if you want to do both simultaneously, is to do this next method, which is if you don't have proof, you borrow somebody's proof, okay? So here's your plan, okay? I showed you how to come up with a sexy home run topic, did I not? Right? I showed you all the things that make a product a home run winner, as close to it as possible, right? So now you get that, okay? So now you come up with your own sexy home run topic. Okay? You interview 8 experts on different facets of that topic. All right? Then you bundle that into a product and you sell it. Okay? Now here's the magic. Once the product is done, you go back to each of those 8 experts you interviewed and you ask them to promote the product as an affiliate. Okay? I'm not saying they all will promote it, but do you think your chances would be very good that some of them will promote it? Now think about this. They're part of the product, so they have a vested interest in the product, right? They know the product's already good because otherwise, why would they do the interview if the product wasn't going to be good, right? Commitment and consistency. They've already committed, so they want to be consistent. So why would they not mail for you? Fourth, people like me and almost every successful person I know, they love go-getters and they hate complainers. And so when a go-getter comes to them, they're very likely to just give them help because they remember when they were in their position. They remember how hard it was when they first started, right? So they're kind to them, and so they will promote, okay? And see, Sabrina asked a great question. So what are they getting out of the deal when they're interviewed? Won't they want the product to sell themselves? Sabrina, the thing is they really don't get anything out of the interview, okay? They just do it. I don't know why they do it, but it's so incredibly easy to get an interview, okay? I had a guy, his name was Kieran, okay? It was a guy whose name was Kieran, all right? He's from the Netherlands. That's why he's got a weird name. Kieran paid me $250 for a consult. I told Kieran this strategy, which I just shared with you on this one slide, right? And it's Kieran, like K-I-E-R-A-N, okay? So I saw Kieran. Yeah, Keith, you're already ahead of me, right? So Kieran got, I told him to do this, because here's what Kieran came to me. Okay, Kieran's on this call right now. Karen, did you or did you not on Monday interview Chris Farrell? He says yes. Okay, do you guys know who Chris Farrell is, by the way? Has anybody on this call heard of Chris Farrell? Okay. Somebody says he's a gentleman. That's what Karen says, right? Okay. So Chris got really big because recently he did like a 7-figure launch with Mike Filsaime. Okay, I'm sure you guys know who Mike Filsaime is, right? Okay, so he did this big 7-figure launch with Mike Filsaime, and he's now kind of famous in the internet marketing world. More people on this call have heard of him than have not heard of him. Okay, Kieran, let me ask you a question since you're on this call right now. How hard was it to get him to do an interview? And Kieran, by the way, says $1 million in 24 hours. That's what Chris made from an internet marketing launch with Mike Filsaime, right? How hard, Karen, was it to get an interview with Chris? Karen says, easy to be honest. No, I don't want you to be honest, Karen. He says it was easy to be honest, okay? Easy. Okay, so here's a guy who most of you, who if you knew him, would be scared out of your mind to approach. Okay, before I laid out this strategy to you, Karen, we did this, what, about 2 weeks ago, right? We had this call 2 weeks ago. Before I laid out that strategy to you 2 weeks ago, had you ever interviewed anybody in your life? And the answer is no, never. Okay, so 2 weeks after talking to me and me laying out this plan to him on the phone, okay, and me getting paid $250 an hour to do that. 2 weeks later, he's interviewing a guy who did $1 million in 24 hours. He might even be able to get Chris to promote for him. Okay? Karen interviewed me. He interviewed Keith Daughtery, who's on this call too. I gave Karen like 5 guys to approach. And I told him to interview on the phone, okay? So this one slide alone should be worth your time tonight, by far. Because somebody said to me the other day, says, Jason, Tellman put this into a product and sold it for a whole buttload of money. That's what they said to me. And here you are giving it away for free. Okay? And Keith says, and he's right, Karen has a chance to tap into about 500,000 people on the various people's lists. And that's true. Okay? And this is the case study of the 10K kid now. Jay Boyer, are you here? Jay, if you're here, speak up. Because Jay Boyer took a training program from me. It was on membership sites. So on membership sites, I offhandedly mention what I told you on the last slide. I offhandedly mentioned that to him, to Jay. And Jay said, I'm going to do it. I said, that's great, Jay. If you're going to do it, I'll specifically give you the topic. Okay? And let me see if I can unmute Jay. Let's see if this is kind of dangerous, I'm muting people. If you read my webinar pitch secrets, you would know not to do this. It's doubly hard when you have to browse through almost 1,000 names. Dang it. Okay, if I can't find you in 30 seconds, Jay, maybe I can of me, but hold on. There's so many people with a name that starts with J on this call. Damn, how many James are on this call? Okay, Jay, I got you. Hey, Jay, you there? Yeah, I can hear you. Can everybody hear Jay? Speak up, Jay, so they can say yes. Okay, good. Yes, okay, they can hear you. Okay, so Jay took a training program from me. Well, it was on membership sites, and I laid this out. And I offhandedly mentioned this call in the thing, and I even took it one step further, which you'll see on this slide here. I gave the topic away. Okay, Jay, how many people were in that class, by the way? Well, I wish, but it was about 200 people. It seemed like 500 people because they were an active bunch and we worked really close with everybody. But there was 200 people on the call where I gave this strategy away from. Okay, so it wasn't just to you, was it? Did I not give? I gave this whole strategy away to everybody on the call, right? I said, I guarantee if you follow this, I said, I guarantee if you follow this, you will make $10,000 or more. That's what I said in this call. And I said, I'll make it easier for you. I'll even give you the topic. And the topic was this. If you were starting from scratch with no contacts, no list, no nothing, and needed to make $100 a day in 30 days, how would you do it? That's what the topic I gave everybody on the call, okay? Now, what's really funny, before I let Jay share his insights with you, do you guys think that I was the first person to ever come up with the idea for that topic? Not even close. Not even close. Okay, I even told everybody on the call, I said, I saw this do really good 2 years ago, and then for some reason it died and nobody really ever did it again. Right? So I said, I guarantee it'll work if somebody just dusts it off and does it again. Right? Okay, so Jay, before I laid out this technique for you, how many people had you ever interviewed? Okay, 0 people. Okay. Now, what made you want to do this? Actually be the only person on the call and everybody I gave this topic to who actually went out and did it. Okay, so you guys hear that, right? Jay says, I'm just going to listen to whatever he does and do it. Okay? That might not be smart if we're at a cult, but it's damn good when it comes to listening to me for making money advice. So Jay, who's never interviewed anybody in his life, who's getting told 27 different things with 27 marketers, finally, just says, I'm just going to follow what Jason says. So he goes out and does it. And even what's funnier with Jay is, the first time we did this, Jay, did I refer anybody to you? Did I give you anybody to contact to do an interview with? No, I didn't. Because I didn't think anybody would do it. I got tired of teaching this because nobody would do it, right? But Jay, I didn't even help him, other than give him the topic and say I would do an interview with you, Jay. right? Okay, so now though, the next time we did this, I gave him a whole bunch more people. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself, right? Okay, so here's the deal. Here's the results. Okay, so you interviewed me, you interviewed James, Brian Johnson, who's a recluse, I'm told, and Brian's a good friend of mine actually. Rachel Rofe, Bill McRae, Will Matos, several other big internet marketers. Since we last spoke, just for this one product alone, who else did you interview? Because I know you're adding to the product. Ryan Lee, who's a very successful, $1 million a year marketer, by the way. Chris, who? Oh, cool. Didn't you interview Willie Crawford? Ah, but it was possibly in the pipeline, right? It- yeah, that's Willie for you, by the way. Nobody on this call repeat what I just said. No, I'm joking. Okay, but but almost everybody. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's backed up. But how many people that you approach for an interview say no to you, roughly? Yeah. That's the easy part. What Jay says, I'm going to repeat to you. That's the easy part. Getting the interview done is the easiest thing. Getting the interview is the easiest thing. Okay? And so he got several people to promote him. I promoted Jay. Okay? James Jones promoted Jay. Will Matos. Did Will promote you? I think he did, didn't he? Will's promoting you this week, which is cool because that's going to be more to we can add on to your 10K kid moniker. Rachel and Dennis promoted you. Um, you got your PayPal account shut down, didn't you? Okay. And Roger, by the way, says I bought Jay's program. So you got it back now, finally, don't you? I remember that. Yeah, I know. It's my problem because I offhandedly mentioned this on the call, right? My problem was I didn't really give all the all the information, and so like I forgot to say, hey, if you actually do this, this is how you got to deal with PayPal so they don't freeze your account. Whoops. Hey, I never said I was perfect. But I remember the call. We took a call the next day with you, and we were outlining different strategies. But me and Jay were kind of laughing because hey, that's a great problem to have. You know, I just made like 10K in a week, and boy, if nothing else, I remember what did we say? If you could never get that money back again, if nothing else, what would you do, right? Yeah, if you couldn't get that money again, was it a total waste? Yes, exactly. So that's the whole deal. What happens if you actually do this, the money is like, oh, that's cool, but the ability to really become wealthy is even more exciting. And that's what Jay has. And Jay has a list now, and actually let's go ahead. Let's skip ahead. What's Jay up to now? Okay? So Jay got on the phone with me shortly after this launch. He paid me my 1 hour consulting fee of $250 an hour from some of the profits he made me, and Jay asked me what to do. And Jay, when I asked you what to do, or what you when you asked me what to do, what did I tell you? Yeah. And how did I tell you to create the product? Yeah. I just told Jay, and you guys can see. Jay is not the very dynamic, amazing speaker that I am either. Okay? So you don't have to be as good as me with speaking to do this stuff, okay? Jay is not Mr. Charisma, right? But he does pretty good. He does okay because he just goes out there and does it. But Jay came and asked me, he says, I want to create another. What should I do now that I've done all this, got the success? I said, well, first the thing you should not make sure your list is hot. So keep mailing them stuff. But secondly, I said go out and create another product. Here's the topic: Amazon publishing is super hot right now. Interview 8 people. And this time I gave Jay a whole list of people that he can interview. People that I put him in touch with that I normally don't put people in touch with because Jay did what I told him to the first time. So I made it easier for him the second time. And so I gave him a new topic that I knew was another guaranteed home run winner, and I hooked him up with people since he had proven himself to me, and now he's got another blockbuster coming down the pipeline. Who have you interviewed for this product, Jay? Yeah, Keith Doherty. Yep, which is great. See, he can't even keep track now because he's got so many. But yeah, he's got I guarantee he's got another guaranteed winner. And yes, now his PayPal account is unsuspended. Quit asking that question, okay? But he's got a whole other thing in the pipeline. Now, here's the deal, okay? You just started making money on the internet, right, Jay? Uh, yes, okay. And so now he's talking about partnering. Him and John Rhodes are going to partner on an upsell, right? Okay, this is a guy who just got in the game, right? Now he's partnering with a very reputable, very big time marketer. Partnering. Okay, these are some of the benefits. Everybody give Jay a thank you. Thanks, Jay, for being so gracious to step forward on this. I'm going to mute you now, okay? Thanks. Okay, great. So Jay got a whole lot of thank yous. Yeah, let's thank Jay because by the way, I didn't tell Jay I was going to do this. I just put him on the spot. And Brian says, Jason, what about outside the internet marketing niche? First of all, Brian, I say that's a silly question. Why go outside the internet marketing niche? It works so easily inside the internet marketing niche. Second of all, I have taught people how to do this outside of the internet marketing niche as well. I had somebody get a very, very big time name in the personal development field, who unfortunately I can't reveal, but you would know him. He's a celebrity, and he got an interview with him. Okay, I had another client who they got an interview with Suzanne Summers. Okay, so it's simple, right? Okay, and when Jay finishes the Amazon product, what do you think I'm gonna tell him to do? Okay, I'm gonna tell him to do it over and over again, right? Just keep doing it over and over again. And see, notice he's getting a little more sophisticated. Okay, because the first time Jay did this, we sold the product for 37. I told him to price it for 37. I did not even critique Jay's copy. To be honest with you, I thought Jay's copy was not that good. First of all, his headline was horrible. I don't know why he just didn't use the topic I gave him as the headline. Okay? But it wasn't that good. His copy wasn't that good. He had no upsell. Everything was wrong, but the offer was so powerful that it eclipsed all of those problems. So he's just going to keep doing this over and over again, and each time he's going to get better. Okay, so if 10K was the worst he can do, oh my God, Jay has got a wonderful future ahead of him. Okay, and no, these products are not one-sitting products. These are the products that take you to the next level. The one-sitting products get you started. These products take you to the next level. Okay, but let me give you a quick review. Okay, I showed you the methodology for creating products on your own in one sitting. Okay, did I show you that, right? One problem, one product, one solution. This is how you do it, right? Okay, yes, I showed you that. I also showed you how to come up with your own home run winners, correct? Remember all the things I talked about a home run winner? Eliminate pain point, piggybacking off a launch, instant gratification. I mean, boy, we did some really good stuff with that. Okay, now I showed you how to marry this strategy with an easy 10K a month product creation formula, right? I unmuted Jay and we walked you through the process. I was talking to Kieran in the chat box, right? And we talked to you about the process. He just went and asked some people, right? They said yes. He did the interview. He went back to them and asked them to promote it. They said yes. Now here's an interesting thing. Okay, so while you're waiting, say you got all your interviews lined up, right? It's Tuesday. Your next interview is on Thursday. What do you think you should be doing on Wednesday? What do you think you should be doing on Wednesday? I'm looking for an answer here. Yeah, you might as well be creating your one sitting product on Wednesday, right? So these two formulas can work synergistically. When you're not out there setting up interviews and doing interviews and compiling them together into a product, you're doing whenever you feel like it these one problem, one sitting, one solution products. That's what you're doing. Cool, huh? So if we parted ways right now, how many of you would go out and set the world on fire and just immediately crush it as product creation geniuses? Okay, we see me, sure, me, yes. Okay, we're getting a lot of yeses. Bring it on, yes. Somebody says not yet, fair enough. Somebody says worth a goal. Somebody says I tried and failed, laugh out loud. A lot of people are saying yes. Okay, that's great. That's awesome. But it's doubtful. It's doubtful. Okay? Unfortunately, it's doubtful. I know you probably better than you know yourself. Okay? And I know you're a stubborn little bugger who, if I let you, will quickly default back to your old habits, okay? Because we are creatures of habits, are we not? And so you'll probably default back to your old habits, which probably are not generating the money in your bank account that you'd like to see. Okay? You're creatures of habits. You'll default back to them quickly and get the old results that you've already gotten. That's just a sad fact. One measly webinar, no matter how good it is, and I'm damn good, ain't going to change your habits, okay? Just ain't going to do it. That's why I ain't going to let this happen to you, okay? You need me in your ear once a week for the next 6 weeks. If you are truly going to use the information I showed you and turn it into obscene fortunes, right? You're going to need me in your ear. And not only just once a week. You're going to need me for ongoing support. Just like Jay did, right? Otherwise, if we part ways on just one stupid webinar, even though it was damn good, you're just going to probably go back to your old stupid habits that are getting in your God-given right to be rich. They're getting in your way of your God-given right to be incredibly wealthy, right? But once you go through this Jason Fladlin boot camp, your default setting is going to be cash on demand, okay? Whenever you feel like it, if you have an idle hour or two to kill, you're going to say, hey, let's make some money. Let's create a product, put it out there very quickly, right? Okay, whenever you see simple opportunity gaps to exploit, like, the new pre-launch that's coming down the pipeline, boom, you jump on it, exploit it, and you get money before they even launch the product, okay? You will change from the person that's on this call right now saying, but Jason, what about this? But Jason, what about that traffic thing? What if I do this and it doesn't work? You're going to transform to somebody that says, ha ha ha, bring it on. Let's do this and let's get rich, right? That's going to be you after this training, okay? Plus, get this, okay? What I showed you today makes it much, much easier for you to succeed. There's no doubt about that, okay? But naturally, the really, really, really good stuff is revealed during the product e-class training, which you are invited to be a part of. Okay, so here's how it works. I've got a 6-week product creation e-class. It starts this Thursday, right? It's Tuesday, so not Wednesday, but Thursday. The day after tomorrow it starts, September 30th, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. So the time it started tonight, that's when it starts then, okay? 6:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time, starting that Thursday, and each following Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, we'll get on a live 2-hour call, and I'll show you everything you need to know. So you're talking about traffic. I'll show you that. You're talking about how to do these interviews. I'll show you that. You're talking about how not to get your PayPal account shut down. I will show you that, okay? So here's what it is. Let's break down each week. And by the way, if you don't make the class live, you can get the recording. And Rich says, is all the traffic pay-per-click? Rich, none of the traffic is pay-per-click, by the way. Okay, week number 1, 4-figure paydays with tiny little under $10 products. I'm going to walk you through a blueprint. If you're writing a product, I'll show you how to write it in less than 1,500 words. It's very formulaic. If you want to do an audio or video, I'll show you an even easier way. Okay, but everything I show you in week 1 is products that can be created in 2 hours or less. Okay, some people on this call were like, Jason, I still don't know my topic. Great. Come to week 1. I have a list of a list of topics that you can just use. Or better yet, bring your topic to me and say, Jason, is this good or not? If it's good, I'll say yes. If it's bad, I'll say, no, that sucks. Don't do it. Do this instead. Okay, and we'll work together, right? I will also show you traffic sources specifically for low ticket items. There's certain traffic sources that work only with low ticket items that a lot of people overlook because they sell high ticket items. Okay, so I will show you traffic sources for low ticket items. Okay, give you winner topics. What's really cool about these under $10 products is that you can write a sales letter that's very formulaic for them because they're under $10. So I'll give you a template, fill in the blank sales letter for that, and guarantee you the next day after class you'll have your first product created. Okay? Got it? That's week number 1. Week number 2 is the interview model. Okay? So I will give you topics for the interview model, both inside and outside of the internet marketing niche, that are perfect to do the interviews. I mean, we'll get really into this one. You want to talk about me breaking down how to do a whole interview? I mean, 8 different people on a topic and make it a winner? I will do that. I will give you word for word techniques to swipe and set up to get those interviews. What's funny is I told Jay, I said, just go out and ask people for interviews. I did not give him any tools that helped him with those interviews, and he got them very easily. But let me ask you a quick question, okay? If you had to contact somebody for an interview and you had a choice between Facebook, their blog, email, or Twitter, or the phone, which one would you pick? Okay, a lot of people are saying the phone. By the way, I will tell you, I would do all of them but the phone. The phone is the worst way to do it, by the way. But I would contact them on Facebook, on Twitter, in their email, and on their blog. That's the 4 ways that I would do it. Okay? That's the 4 ways we do it. Okay? Now, do you think you contact them the same way on the blog as you do through email? No, you don't. Okay, and if you have trouble with the English language, even better. I will show you ways to overcome that. That's actually to your advantage. People want to help foreigners more so with this technique, which is actually cool. Okay? But yeah, you approach each one specifically, depending on the thing that you approach them. By the way, LinkedIn is another way to do it. Okay? By the way, their help desk is another way to do it. Okay? I will show you all the different ways that work and how to approach them almost word for word. I will give you tools that I didn't give Jay and I didn't even give Karen. So those guys did it with the least amount of stuff. I'll give you more than what I gave them. I'll give you exact questions to ask them and how to record the interviews. I didn't tell those guys what questions to ask. Okay? But I'll also give you the topics that are guaranteed winners, the questions to ask, how to contact them, and I will tell you the technical stuff on how to record the interviews, and then the most important thing, I will give you follow-up word-for-word sequence that you can use with them after the interview is done to get them to promote the finished product. And what's really cool is, again, because this is a formulaic product, I have a formulaic fill-in-the-blank sales letter that you can use for these interviews. And somebody says, do you provide transcripts of the interviews? No, that's just too complicated, okay? Not worth it. Boom. Just do the interviews. It's done. Sell it. Get them to promote. Make money. That's the plan, right? That's week 2. Week number 3 is free webinar paid recording model. Okay? This webinar that I've given you today for free, is this not more valuable than a lot of products you've purchased? It probably is, isn't it? Okay, there's a secret to formatting webinars where you can give them away for free and offer something at the end. So you get paid to do the free webinar. But I plan on taking this webinar and selling the recording of it. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm basically getting paid right now to get paid, right? Because I'm going to create, this is a product I'm creating right in front of your eyes while I'm using this as a vehicle to offer you a product creation e-class. Isn't that wonderful? You could do the same thing. In fact, I'm going to have a guy who's a pro. Come in who shows you how he creates a free webinar, makes sales from the webinar, then sells the recording of the webinar, and then makes sales from the recording, and then makes sales of the thing that's being promoted in the webinar. Okay? So week 4, we're going to talk about product creation business funnels, how to turn a $7 purchase to a $497 purchase in less than 7 days, how to repurpose small ticket items into high ticket courses. This is why you create a lot of one product, one solutions, because some of those will morph into high ticket courses. And I will show you 3 specific case studies on how to do that. Week 5, I'm going to give you the product creation master list, both inside and outside the internet marketing niche, 100 plus product topics that are guaranteed winners. And I'm going to tell you several ways that you can create and exploit them, either through interviews, through low ticket, through high ticket, through mid ticket, through special freebie giveaway stuff, all kinds of stuff. And a lot of these are traffic specific, so we'll talk about different traffic mechanisms. And then week 6, we'll talk about selling resale rights, which by the way adds typically 50% to my bottom line line every time I do it. I'll talk about upsells and downsells, rebrandable products, and more. And I'll show you how to make any product that you create at least 30% more profitable after it's launched. Okay, which is what Jay is doing right now, by the way, with that first product. We didn't discuss that secret today, but we will on the call during week 6. Okay. Also, each class is recorded, archived, transcribed, and put into the members area. The recordings will be put up the next day. Video will come up the next day. MP3 will come up the next day. The mind map will come up the next day. The transcripts typically take 72 hours, but the transcripts will be there. Okay, the transcripts cost me a pretty penny, but they're worth it. Okay, so we do provide transcripts. Okay, MP3, video, mind map. I don't care what format you like. We got it. Okay. Now you get access to the members area for life. That's forever. Meaning if you want to log in 8,320 days from now, you can. Okay? Here's the best part, though. The best part of all this is every other week I will create a product with you. Because I walk the walk, right? But even better, I will give you the product. But even better than that, I will give you resale rights to the product. But even better than that, I will give you the sales letter. So you can be like Mike Pateshold, who sells my own product for more than I do and makes sales with it to this day. And he never created it, and he got that free as a bonus for joining, right? So you're going to get 3 of those because we do this every other week. So when you're finished, you have 3 products that I've created from scratch. Unique products. Unique products. Okay? Meaning that we do it by majority rules. At the end of week 1, I say, what product do you want me to create? We poll everybody on the call. The majority wins. I create that product. You get the rights to sell it and keep all the profits. Okay? This alone guarantees you'll make a substantial amount more money from this e-class than what you have to invest to become a member. And what do you have to invest? Well, this is the best part of all. 5 easy monthly payments of just $99.50. That is a bargain any way you look at it. Okay? And technically, they're not monthly. They're 31 days apart. 31 days apart. 5 easy monthly payments of just $99.50. Do you have to be technical for this? No. Technical is the least important thing. The most important thing is getting on the call and just listening to what I say. Just like Jay did. Jay says, I just decided to listen to what Jason did, and voila. The 10K kit, right? One product you create will make you multiples of your investments back. Any of my resale rights products you can flip around and make your investment back pretty easily. So this should be the easiest investment in your education that you ever make, okay? And the best investment too, okay? I hope that sounds good to you, okay? If you see the value in this and see how unbelievably awesome this is, go here and sign up. prodeclass.com. That's prodeclass.com. Let me put that in there right now. Prodeclass.com. Go there right now. Classes are 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time or Central Daylight Time. And so right now it's 8 p.m. my time. So the classes are 1.5 hours earlier than the time is right now where you're at. And the first class starts Thursday. If you can't make the call live, that's fine. Within 24 hours, you'll have the recording in the members area, which you get access to for life. Okay? Prodeclass.com. Go there and sign up and join a happy family. Okay? We already have sold 90 spots. We're only going to sell this until the class starts on Thursday because I don't want too many people in there because I do work with people in the class and we do take it very seriously for our members. And last time when I let in a lot of people, I almost killed myself because it was so backbreaking. It was a lot of work on my part. Okay, so this offer is only available to Thursday. It's Tuesday right now. Thursday at 6:30 when the class starts, 6:30 p.m. my time, then the offer's done. Prodeclass.com. Okay? And Art says, Jason, I just joined. Okay? Somebody says link's not working. Let me just make sure that I type that in right. Okay? Prodeclass.com. Okay? Now, Sky asks a wonderful question. Sky says, can a person realistically earn enough to make the first payment within the first or second week of class? Sky, realistically, no. If you want to be realistic about anything, then the answer will always be probably no, right? But if you just follow what I say and do what I do, okay, it would shock me if you don't make your first payment back. So that $99.50, it would absolutely shock me if you don't make that back within the first 31 days. Okay, and then each month it would shock me if you didn't make an additional $99.50 based on what I taught you, just to make this free for you. Okay, I will show you strategies on how to use my resale rights products that guarantee you will make more than what you invest in this course. Okay, I guarantee that, right? Okay, let's take it a step further though, just in case Sky is still worried. ProdectEclass.com comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. You don't like it, you get your money back. No questions asked, okay? Also, it's not just one class a week, actually. In between classes, as you know, if you've taken any of my other e-classes, in between classes you get extra goodies in the members area. We're talking things like I'm going to give you some ebook templates. I'm going to give you some Amazon Kindle publishing tactics. I'm going to give you some behind-the-scenes breakdowns of some of my most successful launches and more. Okay? And yeah, we're getting a lot of people signing up right now. I like this. ProdectEclass.com. Remember, you also get 3 unique resale right products that you could simply turn around and sell and keep 100% of the profits on. Okay, so Martin says Jason just signed up. Joe says Jason just signed up. Mike, okay, Mike says the link's working. Ty says I have spent so much time trying to create products. I am looking forward to this. Ty, you will absolutely love this. Todd Royer joined. Okay, great. Jeff says I'm in. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff, for signing up. Bruce, send me an email about that. Sounds like a thing that we can work out. And Elaine, contact me about that specific question too. Okay, TJ says I'm in. And Bruce says, haha, I signed up 2 days ago. Okay. Wyatt says, am I out for this if I can't speak English fluently? Perhaps I can skip the interview part and still be successful. Wyatt, in your case, if you don't speak English fluently, in my opinion, the interview model is a godsend for you, to be honest with you. Because like I said, people like to help out the foreigner who they can tell English isn't their second language. They think, well, it makes sense that he's contacting me for an interview because English isn't his first language. So it's even easier to get an interview. One of my students, he's got a very thick Singaporean accent. And specifically because of that, he just interviews people all the time, and it works really good for him. But you know, if you want English, if you want your lack of speaking fluent English to get in your way, Wyatt, then don't sign up for this class. Okay, just use that as an excuse. Okay, but I know a lot of people who English isn't their first language who just get the bull by the horns and they just make a go at it. So they take information like mine, they put it to use, and hey, maybe there's a little bit of challenge for them because English isn't their first language, but you know what? If they want it, they succeed. ProdectEclass.com. Okay, for people that says the link is not working, I don't understand what your issue is. Okay, let me show you. Aw, look at the baby. ProdectEclass.com. Okay, you will see a product creation e-class acceptance form. And basically, it's on a secure page, a secure server, so your information is 1000% safe. It's safer than shopping at Walmart or going to a restaurant. You put your first, your last name, your email, your billing address that's tied to your credit card that you're going to use. You put that credit card information in here, and then you click order. Okay, so let me just show you how I do that again. ProdectEclass.com. Oh, this is a great question that Savina asked that I forgot to bring up. She says, how much time per week do you need to invest aside from the call time? I will be honest with you, Sabrina. Besides the call time, you should invest at least 5 hours a week. Okay, now have people invested less and succeeded? Absolutely, they have. Okay, have people invested more and done better? Yes. But I would say the bare minimum is 5 hours a week. And if you don't have enough tenacity to invest 5 hours a week in your internet marketing business, boy, you shouldn't be in this business. And honestly, like I'm saying, 5 hours is a minimum. If you want to do really good, you're going to hunker down. And I remember when I was struggling, I was painting houses for 12 bucks an hour, right? We would work every single day. I would have to get up at about, it took me an hour and a half to commute both ways. So we're talking about 8-hour workday plus 3 hours back and forth. 11, 12 hours a day was wasted on that job. So how did I succeed? Well, I just got up an hour earlier in the morning. So I'd get up at 4 or 5 in the morning. I would go home when I was done with my day job and work all night. You know, I would spend less time sleeping. I wouldn't watch television at all. So if you really want it, you'll find time to make it. So your determination mixed in with my streamlined ability to teach you more effectively than just about anybody at the planet to actually get out of your own way and succeed for once makes this a no-brainer. Prodeclass3050. I'm pushing this because I care. Oh, Karen knows who I'm talking about. Karen says, I interviewed the guy. Yeah, what's funny, Karen, is I told you to interview that guy. He was so scared for so long to do interviews, but the guy was an expert. So I finally got him out of his shell. And Gart, yes, we can work that out for you. Okay? And Marcia asked this question. I think I saw this earlier. Sorry if I didn't answer it earlier, Marcia. But will we learn how to sell our product? Yes. The last thing I would ever do is get you all dressed up with no place to go. Right? What good is having a product if you can't sell it? That's true. And because I want your success to be my success, because your success is my success, I'm going to show you how to sell it as well as create it. Okay? Think about this. I want you to be the next Jay Boyer. The next time I do this webinar, which will probably be several months from now, because we only do this once every year or once every 6 months or so, but the next time we do this, I want you to be the next Jay Boyer. Because I love to brag about Jay. Because you heard what he said. I just listened to what Jason told me and did it, right? It's as simple as that. I want you on the next call so I can unmute you. And so we can tell nearly 1,000 people on a call your success story. I want that to be you, and that can be you. And I'm going to make it as easy as possible, short of coming to your house, picking up the phone for you, and doing the interviews for you. Short of that, I'm going to make it as easy as possible for you to get that success so you can be the next Jay Boyer. ProductEclass.com is the way, the path to that success. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Oh, James Watson, you are the man. James is here. James is a legend in his own right. James, I need to interview you, man. You got it going good. I appreciate you being on this call with us, James, considering I know it's UK time, your time, and you're a busy man. Okay, I see. Some people have the webinar thing cached. If you have it cached, if you're seeing just an opt-in form, hit refresh, hold down control, and hit F5. Okay, sorry about that. For some reason, the page cached for you. So here's what you do. You hold down control and you hit F5. And that's a hard refresh. That's what they call that. So yeah, thank you for bringing that to my attention. Yeah, just hit control F5. I'm sorry about that. Oh, cool, Phil. Sorry, I'm just skimming through the questions to make sure that I don't miss any. Phil says just got in, going on the Internet Marketers Cruise in January, so I should make some good contacts. Phil, yeah, I'm considering going on that cruise too. Whew, I'm exhausted. This was a powerful webinar, wasn't it? I want to see real quickly. Let's see if we got over 3,000 total registrants. So you got to think 3,050 total. You got to think, right? These many people are interested in product creation. Why would they be interested in product creation? I will tell you, creating products, knowing how to create valuable products very quickly is one of the most valuable skills that there is. It will never grow old. I don't care what media you use. I don't care what doesn't happen to the internet. Having valuable products that are good deals, that's always going to be wealth. There's always going to be attracting to wealth there. And George says, no answer, question mark. George, I must not have seen your question. Can you repeat it again? Because I don't see it. I just see no question. Or no answer, question mark. Repeat that question for me, please, George. Okay, Martin says one of my problems is sitting on products that I've already created. I guess that problem won't be after the course. Yeah, Martin, if you've already created a product and you've done nothing but sit on it, one of the most liberating things to do is decide tomorrow. Am I going to do something with this product? And in 60 seconds, if you decide you're not, delete it. I don't care if you spend hours creating it or even days. If you're sitting on it and doing nothing, the best thing you can do is completely just delete it. So you never have to worry about it again. That'll clear some of that mental anxiety you have. That'll get rid of it. And then you say, okay, I'm never going to make that mistake again. I'm going to take what Jason showed me and never make that mistake again. And instead, get out of my own way so I can achieve my God given right to be rich, right? And David Waldo was absolutely correct when he says copywriting plus product creation equals lifelong skills. That's why the last e-class I did was copywriting and this one's product creation, Dave. You're absolutely right. And Maureen asked an interesting question. She says, what is your most successful What's your most successful product? Maureen, that's really hard to say. They're all, to me, considered successes. But the one that I've sold the most of, if that's what you're asking, Maureen, is probably my copywriting stuff, which is really all it was. If anybody took that class last time, I know we had a lot of people. You can see how I stress product creation even in that class. George says, can this course lead me to have my own dream LFO news site? George, I don't know what that means, LFO. Can this course lead me to have my own dream LFO news site? George, I don't know what that means. Oh, an info news site. You know what, George? Absolutely. What's really cool about product creation is if you think about it, these one problem, one setting products, they're nothing more than just long, glorified blog posts, right? That's all they are. So sometimes you create a short version of a paid product, and that's your free product. Whether that's for a news site, or whether that's for your own blog, or a rebrandable report, which you give away for free, like I do on my blog, or you sell it, or you sell the resale rights to it, or you downsell it or upsell it, which we'll talk about all those things. It don't matter. Now, as far as your own dream stuff, I don't know what your dream is, George. You know, if your dream is to walk on water, no, this won't do that for you. But if your dream is anywhere in the possibility of doing, I'm sure that this will help you get there. Maybe it won't be the only thing that you need to get there, but I can't see how it would hurt your chances. I can only see how it would help your chances, if that makes sense. And somebody asked me, are you going to show us how to get the product on the internet? Ingrid, yeah, absolutely. That's a requirement of success, isn't it? So therefore, I will show it. Okay. Somebody says, will you teach us how to use the resale rights products that you give us? Yes, absolutely. Caleb says, if you've already, all good. This is a great question, Caleb. The little 15-year-old Caleb here says this. If you've already made lots of products and released them, is this course worth it? Caleb, I know a lot about product creation that you probably don't, and you probably know some stuff about product creation I don't. But the thing is even though I know a lot about product creation myself, I'm always looking for a new tactic to pick up on it. Because I have found with my stuff that I do, if I can find one little thing to make it better, oh my God, is that worth a lot of money for me? So think about every WSO you might run in the future, Caleb, because I know you run a lot of them. What if you made only $100 more from each of those WSOs? What if, right? I'm sure you could pick up one tactic from my class each week that would make you $100 more from each WSO you run. So would that be worth it to you, Caleb? If so, then you know what you need to do, okay? Now you're 15, so you're young and you're smart, right? I hope you are. You should have more energy than everybody else in the call. So you of all people could benefit most from this training. Kathy says, do you have a product that just flopped? Kathy, to be honest with you, I don't. And I can only count that to one thing, luck. Okay? For some reason, I've just had the Midas touch. Everything I've put out has been successful on one level or another. Now, that's because I'm good, because I showed you all the things that make a guaranteed home run winner. But any product that I've sold to the masses has been successful, and I just attribute that to luck. I'm sure I'll have a flop one day, but hey, big deal, right? If you add that as a bonus to the next product. You know what? What also is cool is we have some people on this call who are into affiliate marketing, I make a lot of money as an affiliate marketer. And the best way to make money as an affiliate marketer is to create your own products, build a list, and then promote affiliate products on the back end. B. Turner asked me an encyclopedic question, and I like this question, and I'm going to answer it 100%. What if you do not know anything, literally nothing, about how to put up websites, WordPress, marketing, advertising on the net, etc.? I'd be completely new and not want to be ridiculed since I don't know how to do any of these things. Basically, just know how to send emails and copy and paste. Also, what if I do not take the copywriting class? Will that be harder for me to learn? Question mark. Thank you for responding. B, if you absolutely literally know nothing about setting up a website, WordPress, marketing, advertising on the net, and you are completely new and don't want to be ridiculed, then you probably don't want to take this class. I'm being honest with you, okay? Because I won't, I guess it's not ridiculing you, but I'm not very, I don't take excuses. Let's put it that way. If you come to me with an excuse, I will slap you down, okay? I will verbally smack you, okay? Because I don't take excuses, because excuses are not very helpful for making money, right? So if you're somebody who's going to use that as an excuse, I say don't sign up for this class, okay? But if you're somebody that says, okay, I'm going to show you what Jason taught me about product creation, and I'm going to do everything in my willpower to make sure I can benefit from that. So if that means I have to go and figure this one thing out, maybe it'll take me a bit longer than the average person, so be it. But when it's done, it's done. Okay, that's the champion's mindset. So if you think you can do that, if you're not going to let these roadblocks get in your way, but you're going to have the mindset of I will find a way or I will make one, then you of all people need to be in this class. But if you're afraid that you come to me and you don't know how to do something and you give me an excuse and I say that's crap, I'm not going to take it, go out there and do it now and find a way, and here's the ways I would do it. Now here's how you can do it. Now go do it, and just listen to what I say, just like Jay said, then yes, this class would be good for you. And Kathy says, what, no walk on water e-course? Bummer. Art makes a great question. One thing I'm worried about is if I'm going to get stuck answering emails from customers day in and day out. Art, that is a very valid question. Okay, there's ways of handling that. One thing is you can limit your customer support and specifically tell people how it works. The other thing is you can outsource customer support. The final thing is, think about this. If your biggest problem is you've sold so much product that you have customers answering emails from you all day, it sounds like you need to create more products that already answer those questions for them. Then that will cut down on your email support and make you more money. That sounds like a good idea, Art. And I know you're already in the class. But that's some of the stuff that we will be showing about, right? And yes, Don just got here. This will be recorded, and we will send out the recording tomorrow. And dang it, I just saw something from Jay. Some guy named JH. He says, please repeat that, but I missed it because I scrolled down. And why says, Jason, can I always outsource the project if I'm really stuck in writing content? Wyatt, you can outsource. I'm not going to be teaching a lot of outsourcing in this class, Wyatt, because in my opinion, it takes it longer to outsource it than it does to just sit down and create it. I mean, it would take me 3 hours of waiting for responses from my outsourced workers. Just waiting for a response when I could have just got the product done. And I don't think you should outsource anything until you first do it yourself when it comes to marketing skills. And yes, it is 6 weeks back to back. And Jay says, Jay Scanlon asked me this. Is this a good topic, Jason? Newbieshelpingnewbies.com. Jay, that's a horrible topic. Okay? Because it doesn't meet any of the criteria, the guarantee winners, which we talked about, right? There's no instant gratification. There's no giant pain point. You are not piggybacking off of anything powerful. And you're not showing them how it's very easy for them to save money, save time, or make money based on what they're paying you. Right? So that's not a very good topic. Now, there's easy ways to tweak that topic, Jay, to make it successful. Okay? You can talk about You could call it Guru Newbies Dash. Guys running successful six-figure a year businesses who barely know any of the technical issues. I've interviewed 8 guys who are literally all thumbs when it comes to computer skills. But somehow or another, even though they do not know how to set up their own websites, they figured out a way to make 6 figures a year online. For just $37, you can get access to all 8 of these interviews today. Now that is a winner product. Okay? And you guys are just getting a taste. You guys have just gotten a taste of what it's like to be in the product E class. Did you see how easily I fired that in? And I hope you guys realize what a great topic I just gave him. Okay, because he asked me, he says to me, Jason, what do you think of this topic? I said that topic's horrible. I tweaked it really quickly and shot it back to him. I said, now the topic I gave you is not horrible. In fact, it's a huge winner. Jerome says, I'm ready to pull out my credit card. Jerome, your credit card should be out right now, and you should be typing the numbers in on that order form at prodeclass3050 because you know you want in. You know you want in. Yeah, and B, as the follow up to that, B goes, thanks for answering, but was being honest and straightforward as I needed to know if these things are covered. B, I will not explicitly cover those things because I don't want to slow down the class to the slowest crawl. But I do have a wonderful assistant who everybody knows who's went through my classes that will be helpful. So if it's a minor technical thing like that, B, I pay her, so it costs me money. But she will be cheerfully able to help you because I pay her to do that stuff, right? Oh, Jerome says, and he goes, I got my credit card out for the product that you just talked about. He goes, I'm already in the class. Look at me. I sell to people who are already sold. Yeah, and Marco, do you give rights to your products so I can translate them and sell them in my country and language? Marco, that is a very intelligent question. And in fact, Marco, was it you today who came up to me about wanting to translate a product into Italian? Because I saw the email from somebody. And I didn't respond back yet because I didn't have a chance yet. But Marco, I seriously want to talk to you about that. I will give you a cut. If you want to translate my products and my sales letters into Italian and sell them in the Italian market, we can definitely make that happen. Okay? So that's a smart idea, Marco. Yeah, unfortunately, I just saw the beginning of your email, your subject line. I didn't read the email yet. Um, but I do want to do that. And and the reason, guys, that I'm doing this with Marco specifically. Now, if you guys want to make a go out of this, by all means, we might be able to work something out. But Marco excites me because Marco has 10,000 people on his list that speak Italian. So I'm like, yeah, Marco, let's do that. If you're starting from scratch, maybe we could talk about something, but build that list. Mark says, can you briefly touch on your 3 top traffic sources to seal the deal? Well, Mark, clearly we talked about affiliates. I will show you a technique in the class. When you create these one product, one solution, one problem, one solution, one setting products, Mark, they're ripe for 100% commissions. So we actually have something coming out that will help you with 100% commissions. That's really cool. But what you do is you sit down, right? And you bang out a product and you give 100% rights and you just use it to build your lists. That's a technique. Warrior Forum is an obvious technique. Okay, the interview model with the joint venture is an obvious technique. I'm going to be showing you also traffic sources that have built-in marketplaces. So think about this. People who have bought a product. Think about this. Somebody who's bought a very popular product already has the product, correct? What if you made an add-on to that product that enhanced the product that a lot of people already purchased? Would that not be one of the easiest products to sell to a built-in marketplace? Yes, I'm going to show you how to do that as well. There's actually a couple marketplaces that we're going to cover that I think you'll absolutely love. Okay, Rafael says I have 15,000 people in Spanish. Rafael, let's make a deal. Okay, I will let you translate some of my products and we'll make a test on that. See if you like that, and I'll give you a cut. Now, I will tell you, I had a guy who came to me with a 1,000,000 person list that speaks Spanish. And while we did okay with that list, the conversion rates weren't that great. I think it had something to do with The Spanish people didn't have as many credit cards. Cynthia says, I just finished my product and it's 80 pages. Is that too long? Cynthia, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Who cares? Put it out there and see if it sells. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. My double year productivity guide was 100 pages long, but I wrote that pretty much in one sitting. That one, unfortunately, I didn't get all the way done in one sitting because I had a full schedule that day and the next day and the day after that. So I wrote it every free moment I got in between coaching calls, personal consulting calls, and doing other things that had to be done in deadlines. But I worked that in around all my other free times. And I can get away with that stuff now because, I've created like a billion products. But yeah, 80 pages, if it's done, it's done. A product, it's nice to create a punchy product, but it doesn't matter really. You're funny. Oh, so I always have a heckler. There's always somebody has a man crush on me, so they always get on every webinar I do. Mark Kennedy, he's just Mark. You wrote me a super long thing that looks interesting, Mark. I just don't have time to go over it all now, but contact us. Shoot us an email because it sounds interesting. Okay, so that's Mark Kennedy. Mark, contact me. Okay, Nancy Ferris asks a great question. What kind of costs might be necessary to implement what we will be learning? Nancy, if you don't have Microsoft Word, you can get it or Microsoft PowerPoint, but there's also free alternatives that I will show you. So anything I show you is pretty much will be a free alternative, except for two things. Your hosting, you'll have to pay for that, and your domain. Well, three things, sorry. Your hosting, your domain, and an autoresponder. Okay? And in my opinion, I don't care what course you have, those are requirements of doing business on the internet. Okay, so whether you get my course or anybody else's courses, you're going to need those things anyway. But above and beyond those, everything else that you can do is free. Okay, the one exception is I will show you how to do interviews where you interview people, and that costs a one-time fee of 20 bucks. And then you can interview pretty much anybody you want. Okay, and I'll also show you a better model which costs 47 bucks a month. That makes interviewing other people a really simple thing. But I will also show you a free resource if you want to interview people for free, although I don't recommend it. But if you're seriously on a budget, everything I show you will have a free alternative. Okay, sometimes it's easier to pay for the toy than with the time it saves you, but I always give you the option of here's a tool that you can buy that makes it easier, or here's how you can still do it for free. And most of the costs that deal with that on that end are what are they called? They're just for the interview model, right? So any of the other weeks, there's no cost for besides hosting and domain and autoresponder, right? Sorry, I'm just getting exhausted now. It's 8:30. I've been going for 2 hours. And Jay says, keep talking. I want more commissions tonight. All right, guys, I have literally brain dead. K Dog, you still here? I just wanted to make sure K Dog was here. Or if he's gone. Okay, and we start the class on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. We're winding it down. I just want to make sure K Dog was on the call still. Um, two. I'll take four more questions as they come in, and then I'm gonna get off the call because I'm tired. Okay, Ingrid says, "Do you have very good customer support?" Ingrid, we have some of the best customer support in internet marketing. Simply because it's me and my assistant, and we're pretty low scale operation. And so, am I gonna jump at your every beck and call and get back to you immediately? No. But my assistant's pretty good about that. But we're above average when it comes to customer service. I will tell you that. And Marco says, I'm going to sign up. It's a great offer. Marco, awesome. We'll see you on the call. And Mike says, I'll see you on the call. Recorded webinar will be available within 24 hours. Okay? And Tammy says, thank you very much. Can't wait till Thursday. Thank you. Okay, George says about newbies. Newbiesfirststep.com. Any good? George, not really, unless you can frame it around something with some sort of instant benefit. Yeah, newbies first step. First step is nobody wants a first step. They want the last step, right? Him Jay's Boyer says Mary Jo is more responsive than my family. And Wall says in my experience, Jason's customer support is awesome. And Wall's you'll be there Thursday, right, Wall? Cool. Todd says great. See you Thursday. Carlos says thanks. David says thank you. Marcus says thank you. Thank you everybody. We'll have this call up in less than 24 hours. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Have a wonderful night.